Hi, and welcome to the Dinner Agenda. This is Bo.
And this is CeeLo. Why are you making a silly face?
I don't know. How are you, Steve?
You're trying to make me laugh.
Am I trying to make you laugh? So, how are you?
You're trying to make me laugh. I'm good. Do you like my new
I
glasses?
do. They're very lovely. They're very nice. I have to get new glasses too. So, these are obviously new because I just spoke to you last week.
Well, I have been using readers from Costco, basically, right? That's what I have a pair everywhere. And that's all I've really been using. And I went to the eye doctor recently and she's like, this will be a better prescription for the computer.
Oh,
I'm like, okay.
so you got actual.
So they are. Oh my God, it's way better. It's so nice and clear. I can sit back and sit up and I can see the computer.
So
Lovely.
hold on a second.
But
So
she
these,
also,
I have a
yes,
question for you.
go,
These
please.
are reading glasses, prescription strength from the actual eye doctor for your laptop.
Yes.
And they work better? Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
If you've noticed, do you wear readers for
I
anything?
do.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So you notice like, oh, you pick up like a pill bottle and you're like, fuck, I
Yep.
can't read that. You put the readers
Yeah.
on and you hold the pill
Yeah.
bottle, right? If you don't have the readers on, you can hold
Far
it
away and I can see.
and you can still see
Yeah.
it, right? That farther
Yeah.
away gets farther and farther.
Yeah.
So what happens is I need it to read like a pill bottle becomes I need it to be able to see what's on my dinner plate and what's on the computer. It's not just
Oh.
like reading, it's like now it's like the 3-foot distance. You know what I'm
So if
saying?
you're wearing reading glasses right now, which is what you're doing, right? Okay.
Correct.
How do you see far? Like, isn't it blurry? Oh, you just take them off. Why you gotta be this
Now,
way
but
for?
here's my dilemma.
What?
Okay?
Yes.
Because she also gave me a very, very light prescription for distance for the first time since I had LASIK in
Yes.
2010,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
right? Your buddy was born.
Yep.
Push present.
Yep. Yep.
So I said to the guy, I'm like, I want to, that was like buy one, get one.
Mhm.
BOGO.
Mhm.
So I got two. I got this one and a blue pair
Mhm.
for work or
Mhm.
computer. But I'm like, I'll pass on the distance ones for now because I'm like, is it like then a trifocal lens? Is it like I have to look up here for
Yeah.
distance, here for the computer, and here for reading?
Mhm.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm not gonna like that. So I didn't, I just didn't get any prescription filled.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you end up changing your driver's license when you got LASIK eye surgery?
No, I never did.
Right. Okay. So here's the funny thing. Similar situation to you. So I had worn glasses and then I got laser eye surgery. And I think I got laser eye surgery
Oh, you
around the
did.
same time that you did because when Nathaniel was born,
Yes.
I had come to see you at the hospital and I had had it done. And it
Yes. You had gotten yours, I want to
was
say a couple years before I did
no, it
it.
was new. It was like about a month because my eyes were still really dry, maybe 2 months, something like that. But I remember
Okay.
my eyes, I was still kind of adjusting to the dryness of it. And then you got it done after, I think.
Yes, I got it done at the end of my mat leave for sure. So it was probably
It was a year after I got ahead of mine then.
2011.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had just had it done
That would make
when I
sense.
went to go visit you in the hospital the day that Nathaniel was born. And I remember that because
Yeah.
I was holding him and I was thinking, "Oh my god, my eyes are so dry." Like, I wish I had some drops. This is like great. That was what was going through my head when I was holding him. And also that he was just totally
You were worried about your dry eyes
no.
when I just pushed a child out of my vagina.
My vagina. I
Nice.
was not worried about my dry eyes. I was feeling uncomfortable about it. But the whole thing of so
Whatever.
both have had the laser eye surgery done around the same time. And last
Yeah.
year was the first year I actually got prescribed for distance as well. So these glasses that I've
Yeah.
got on right now are to see for distance. I also have another pair for reading as well. So I'm in the same situation where it's like I could probably use the two, like, the bifocal,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Anyways, but I don't want to because I feel it's going to be uncomfortable as well. And honestly, see, look, so here's the dilemma that I'm in now. So first of all, last year I got the prescription. I was really
Yes.
disappointed because the laser eye surgery was wearing out at this point, and I was like, I just enjoyed being glasses
I
free,
know.
right?
Glory days
Right?
for a while, eh?
Shaving your legs, you
Loved
can
it.
see everything, like, it's just as awesome, right?
Yes.
Now, a year 2 years later now, I think it is, or a year and a half later, whatever it is, um, I can tell I need a stronger prescription. So,
Yeah.
it's like, this fucking sucks balls, you know? It really honestly does. Now, the dilemma that I have is that right now, I can still see, like, something that I'm looking at without
Yeah.
the reading glasses unless it's, like, really close up, right? So
Right. Or tiny,
yeah,
tiny,
like, I can
dim lit.
see, like
Yeah.
like like, this is as far as I need to go, okay?
Yeah. You're gonna need to go to YouTube and see the demo.
You don't need to see the demo. However, the problem is that I need these to see far. So when
Yes.
I'm wearing these to see far, and then if I look on that with these glasses on, like if I look at down or what, it's too blurry now because the glasses are making. So I'm constantly pulling my glasses on and off, on and off, on
On
and
and
off,
off.
on, and it's so fucking annoying. It's annoying.
Yes. I get it. And yeah. Well, the place where I got the glasses just um sent me a little text message saying, "Oh, we hope you love your new glasses, blah blah blah."
Mhm.
I thought that's nice customer service. Maybe I will go back and get one pair that's got every prescription in it and see how we do. You
Let
know?
me know. Let me know because I'm there with you. I'm there with you. And you know what? My eye doctor appointment is April 12th. So
Okay.
I'll just,
All right.
you know what I'm thinking of doing?
Well,
What? Tell me.
I would like to hear from our dinner guests on their eyewear, eyeglasses
Yes.
prescription situation. Any
Actually,
recommendations?
that's a
You know?
great idea because if somebody out there has that transition lens, I'd love to know
Yes.
if it's good, bad, or what, you know? But
Yes.
also, let me ask you your opinion on those transition the glasses, the ones that go.
Don't say transition because I think of those as the ones where you go out in the
That's what
sun
I'm
and
talking
they
about.
get
Sorry,
dark.
I had
Oh,
that
okay.
wrong. Okay, so the bifocal. What are they called when you have the?
Bifocal or trifocal?
Okay, so that is what I want to know if somebody has. But also, I'm also considering transition lenses so that I don't need a separate pair of sunglasses. Have you ever
Sunglasses.
had that, CeeLo? Have you ever had those transition glasses?
I haven't, but I remember back in the day when they first came out, and I can remember people wearing them like inside, and they never really got totally clear. It always kind of looked like there was a tint to them.
Oh,
And I was like, that looks stupid. But I mean, that was like 80s, 90s technology. You know what I'm saying? Like times have a change. So I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe they're better.
I don't know, but I'm considering it.
Plus,
Mhm.
you could, yeah. And I mean, I think they'd be good for the car. I actually had like a cheapy, not prescription Oakley pair that I was using when I was riding my bike a
Mhm.
lot because you could put them on and they would adjust based on how bright it was,
Oh,
and those were awesome.
really?
So maybe it is better now.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm considering it, so I'll let you know if I decide to go forward with that.
I look forward to an update.
I like your new readers. They're lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you been listening to the news lately?
Um, well, no, not really.
Really? What have you been doing with your time, young
I
lady?
um other things, other important things. I don't put I mean I put like the news channel on once in a
Mhm.
while, but I just find it so depressing. I can't.
Yeah.
I will sometimes read the
Mhm.
news like through my Apple News whatever,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
sometimes I don't.
Mhm.
Just how it
Okay.
goes. Why? What's going on? What have I missed? What's happening?
So the we're back to the U.S. So there is, I guess, an increase in the U.S. Making sure that they are finding and deporting, I guess, illegal immigrants. Like that is their mandate. But they
Yes.
seem to be hitting a lot of innocent people lately. And it's of like I'm finding it so disturbing. So I had heard about this. one woman who was originally from Germany, and she was in New York on a green card. She had a green card. She was married to a US citizen who lived in New York. They were married and she was there for 4 years on this green card, right? She was actually
Yeah.
working for the US government. And then Elon Musk came in and kind of did a whole bunch of layoffs. And she was one of those ones that was hit by the layoffs. So she lost her job. So she decided that she was going to go back to Germany to spend a couple of weeks with her family, right? Because she had the time. And
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
so off to Germany she goes. She visits with her family. Now she's coming back to New York and she's got this green card. And the border's like, yeah, no, not good enough. Not good
Oh my
enough.
God, seriously?
And they fucking deported her back to Germany. They wouldn't even let her in. So now she has this husband who is living in New York. She was living there with him on a green card, and now she's been deported back to Germany. How does this fucking make sense, CeeLo?
Oh my God, that is bonkers.
Right?
I I guess if she like they deported her because what her visa was no longer
No.
valid or
Apparently had a valid green card, and they were like, we don't fucking care. Bye. Like, green card is not citizenship, is what their take was. It's like it's almost like
I know, but it's like a visa in a way, right? Like
CeeLo.
you're legit allowed to be there for whatever reason.
Uh-huh. So right now it seems like even on legit visas, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you have a work visa or a green card or a whatever, it seems like it doesn't matter. If you're not an actual US citizen, they're targeting you. So they even had a guy that he looked Mexican, let's say, and he was stopped by immigration, like by ICE, whatever they're called. I think it's ICE, and they grabbed him and they put him into a detention center
Okay.
because they assumed that he was not a US citizen, and he kept saying, "I'm a US citizen. I'm a US citizen. I'm a US citizen." And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, sure you are." They didn't even bother to fucking
Where
check.
was this? That's
This yes,
horrible.
oh, I got another real horrible story that we need to talk about, and this was just recent, but this poor guy ended up spending some time in the detention center before finally somebody looked and said, "Oh yeah, he is a US citizen." Okay, there you go. Off you go.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I need to apologize to my wife, I think.
Why?
Because she called me this week and she's like, "Shit, I've got to go to the US for work
Don't
in a month, whatever."
do
And she's like,
it.
I'm like, she's like, "I'm so worried
Yeah.
about going. I'm this, I'm that." I'm like, "What? It's fine. Should be fine. What do you?" She goes, "Didn't you hear that story of the woman, Canadian woman that was detained in like an?" I'm like, "No, I didn't hear anything about that. There was a Canadian woman detained as well." Um, Traveling. I think she had like a work permit to do something in California and she was crossing back over the border for work and they detained her and threw her in like in the shackles, in the detentions, all that. And I'm like, "Oh my God.
And
It's
it is
scary."
scary, and the thing
Cuz
is with that
like
woman, CeeLo, with that woman, she, because I remember reading this. When they detained her, she was
yeah.
detained for 2 weeks, I think, at first. Like, she was there for 6 weeks, I think, in total, something crazy like that. But they took her and detained her, and they didn't even allow her to have contact. So her family had no idea where she was. According to them, she had gone missing. They didn't know if she'd been
Oh my
kidnapped.
God.
She had no way of telling them where, like, of getting any communication out at all.
That's
Yeah.
crazy town.
Okay.
That is crazy. Like people are not going to want to travel there for like
Yeah.
at all for anything
Right.
ever.
Right. It's like, and you're talking about Mel going on a business trip. Okay, fine. So I mean, she's not like I don't know what she's doing on this business trip, but it's a business trip, and she is probably dealing with her counterparties on the other side, and you know what I mean, just
Yeah.
doing whatever. But they're going to question her. They're going to question her on the at the border, and they're going to ask if she's got a work permit, and she's going to
Yeah.
have to make sure that she understands what she needs to let them know. Like
Yeah. Well, all the times that I've traveled to the US for work in the past, there's like a letter that you get printed off and it's from the company you work for and you got to travel with it. And it's just like a
yeah.
explanation of what you're doing kind of in the US for whatever the work period is,
Mhm.
which was never more than a week or two,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary what I that is so scary to me.
It
I'm kind of sad, like,
yeah.
I really wish we still had Targets here, I would be less sad about it, but I
Targets?
think there's still place
Oh, Target
Target.
stores. Oh,
Target,
Target. Yeah,
hello?
I got
That was the primary reason I liked going to the
yeah.
US of A
Yeah.
is for the Target.
Yeah.
Um, but, I mean, there's still places in the US that I would have loved to have visited
Mm,
and seen, but I certainly won't do it now,
no.
not while he's in office, forget
No.
it.
And it's funny that you say that because Dave and I are infamous for our road trips. We love taking road
Oh, yeah.
and, we have done most of our road trips within the US, right? There's just lots to see and lots of
Yeah.
places that we want to go. And there's been a couple, there's still a few that I definitely want to do. But like you, I won't be doing it now. Not
No.
now. You know what I mean?
You save your road trips for, places in Canada,
Yeah, that's what
basically.
we're gonna do. That's exactly what we're gonna
Yeah.
do. But it's just it's unfortunate. So early this week, CeeLo, I think it was this week, there was a woman. So this is like a new kind of situation dealing with deportation and stuff. And this one is really disturbing. I'm gonna send you the actual video because there's an actual video of this. It's like a surveillance video that they had. And this woman, she's a Turkish national who was going to school in Massachusetts. I think she was going to Tufts University, I think it was. And she was taking something to do with child trauma, right? So,
Okay.
anyways, she was at this university as a student. Um, as a student, I think she had written a couple of articles just, I think, in support of what the Palestinians were going through with this
Yeah.
war that's happening between Israel and Palestine. So she had written a couple of articles at the university talking about that, and she was a bit pro-Palestine in terms of her writing and what she was
Yeah.
saying. Okay. Anyways, so the other day, she's like, coming home from dinner from meeting her friends after school or whatever, and there's like these six ICE guys. They're all dressed in plain clothes. They have masks covering their faces, so you can't see their faces, and they swarm on her, and they're basically
Oh my
like, you can
god.
see in the video, they're like grabbing at her, and she's freaking out. She doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know who these people are. She doesn't know.
Like she's being kidnapped or
Yes,
something, right?
yes. And there's people that are screaming in the back, like, what are you doing to her? What are you doing to her? And it's like, we're the police, we're the police. But yet they're not dressed like police. They look very shady. Anyways, they end up grabbing this woman, and she's like kind of trying to fight them off a little bit. And they end up grabbing this woman, putting her into a van, and off they go.
Mm.
And she's gone, and nobody knows where the fuck she is. She's gone. And what they basically were saying to her was, we're deporting you on terrorism or something, or we're getting you on, arresting you on terrorism. That's what they're doing. They're arresting her on terrorism because she wrote those articles. And it's like, okay, so free speech,
What happened to
uh,
freedom of
right?
speech? Yeah.
Free speech
Yeah.
is gone. It is gone in the United States. Gone. You can't fucking do anything. You can't attend a protest. And basically, what they were saying was, you're supposed to be here to study, not to be attending protests. And it's like, oh my God, what the fuck has happened to this United States that used to be so modern and, the leaders of, the way forward? And
It's backwards. Yeah.
fucking hell, is it ever backwards? It's crazy, CeeLo. It's crazy. I just, that makes me nervous.
I would love to hear from some listeners because I know we have a bunch of listeners in the US of A, what their
Yeah.
experience has been like. Like, I'm sure that we get this sprinkling of the horrible news because that's
Yeah.
what the news is, always horrible,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But has their day to day changed and
Yeah.
their ability to do things, their decisions around where they may travel, like what other states they may travel to or not
Yeah.
travel, or people who are moving states because of it. Like, I would love to hear from people on that
Yeah.
and see what that's been like being there.
That's interesting. I'd like to hear that too. I do wonder, what we're seeing on the news is that everything, like
Yeah.
we're not in there, we're not seeing it. I mean, I'm now starting to see
Yeah.
little trickles of some folks that have been kind of impacted by some of the decisions to cut costs, and a lot of the
Yeah.
layoffs that they're doing, and some of those people are now starting to vocalize how they had originally voted for Trump, and they were
Hmm.
kind of very on board with what his ideas were to help, bring America, back into
Now
that
they've had
power
a
state.
change of
But
heart.
now they're having a bit of a change of heart because they're being impacted, and they're in a
Yeah.
very kind of cruel way, not in a kind way.
Right.
So
Right.
I am curious to hear too. That would be very interesting. We should maybe even reach out to our listener, our friend that we had on before, when we were talking about her marriage,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe ask her to
Yeah.
come on and see what she thinks of, like, maybe we can have an open dialogue about what's actually happening there in her mind, and in
Yeah.
her viewpoint.
That's a good idea. I have friends down in the US of A too. Maybe I'll hit them up.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know,
It's
CeeLo,
crazy.
but
Crazy times. Okay, so I had some
tell me.
local crime.
You
Some local
did.
crime this week.
Local crime on the
I did.
TTC?
No.
No?
Although I do have a Tales of the TTC story for you.
Okay, tell
It's
me.
not quite as interesting. But earlier this week, our neighbors sent a video. We both have cameras, and their cameras are in their backyard. Ours are
Mhm,
in our backyard.
mhm.
And the video captures two guys running through their backyard and hopping over their fence. The second guy less successfully hopping over the fence, but eventually he does get over the fence.
Really? Oh,
And
shit.
my neighbor was in her kitchen, I guess, getting coffee on or breakfast going. It was like 7 something in the morning. And I just bent my knee. Ow. And she's like, "What the fuck?" As she sees these two guys run through and hop over the fence,
Yeah.
camera captures it. And then one of our neighbors had found out that they were breaking into cars
Oh, shit. Really?
in the hood, and the police were chasing
Oh,
them. And that's so they had run up our street, run through the neighbor's backyard, and hopped the fence. I did get confirmation that they have been arrested.
oh, really?
They are 16 and 17 years old.
CeeLo,
Okay.
that's so young.
I had left the house
Yeah.
to go to work, and I missed them by about 3 minutes. The timestamp of when I left the house and walked down and then left, they were running up
Like,
my
you were
street away
walking your
from the
dog?
cops. No, I was
Oh,
walking to get to work. Yeah, to go to
oh,
work.
really?
Crazy, right?
So what time was this at?
7:30 in the morning
7:30 in the morning. Holy crap. But they were 16
ish.
and 17. 16 and
16 and
17.
17 years old.
What
Yeah.
the shit?
And then later that night, wifey's on the Facebook
Mhm.
and she's in a neighborhood chat group like a block over.
Mhm.
And somebody else's cam had picked up these two guys trying to get into their car.
Mhm.
And you could tell by what they were wearing, it was the same two guys that hopped the
No.
fence.
Really?
Because one had on like light gray track pants, black jacket, light fur collar, and that's the same guy that was hopping the fence.
Shit.
Crazy.
It is
Yeah.
crazy. And what bothers me is that, I don't know, at that age, CeeLo, So it's like I believe that they're working for someone, right? I don't think like I think it's
Yeah.
obviously a larger ring, and what these people end up doing is they use these younger people because they could potentially get off on lesser charges because they're young, right? Um,
Yeah, I suppose.
yeah, I think that's
I think that's a possibility.
yeah,
That is part of some larger ring, but
yeah,
I also think that, like, kids are stupid. Although if my kids were, like, not at
yeah.
home at 5 AM, 5:30 AM, even 7:30 AM,
I mean, come on.
I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They, like, they get up and leave for school with
Yeah,
minutes to spare,
yeah,
sometimes not even enough minutes, you know?
yeah. And also, I mean, I would
Mm.
question. Like, I get kids are really stupid and they make stupid, stupid decisions. I totally get that. Um,
Yeah.
but to break into cars, I don't know. I don't know.
You know how many pairs of sunglasses I've lost by leaving my car unlocked?
Prescription?
No, just
Just
regular
regular sunglasses.
sunglasses, but nice ones, but yeah.
Yeah,
They walk along and they just test every door.
yeah,
They find one open, they rifle through it for change and sunglasses and whatever, and
yeah. Oh,
uh-huh,
unbelievable.
sad state of affairs. Neighborhood crime
Yeah,
watch.
apparently. Now, I have to ask you because I don't remember, but did we have that kind of crime with young people when we were growing up? Because I don't seem to recall any of that.
No,
Like it was
no.
very unusual for a 16-year-old to be like doing something like breaking into cars, unless we're just innocent about it and we didn't realize it was actually going on. I don't know.
I don't know, I didn't hear of stuff like that
Me neither.
happening even. Not, like, from our friends or in our circle of friends, like, not at
Even
all,
in
but I
high
mean, even
school.
in
Yeah.
the news or just around,
Yeah.
like, you didn't hear shit like
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
right? Although I do think one of my sister's friends
Now I know who you're talking
was,
about.
like, break and enter or
It was
something,
not
something.
it was not necessarily your sister's friend. He was in our grade. I know exactly who it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Right?
tell you his name after we're done recording. But he was and he's on my Facebook. So but he was in our grade and our year. And
Yes.
I remember that he had broken into it, so correct me if this is not the right story, but
Yeah.
he had broken into your sister's basement apartment and recognized the photo of her that had been up and left and didn't end up taking anything from her place, but they had hid a whole bunch of other apartments in that little neighborhood nook. And the police, when they had come, had made some kind of comment about who they were looking for, and your sister recognized the name.
Oh, no, I'm gonna need to consult now
You'll have to
because
ask her.
she was never in a basement
Yes,
apartment.
she was.
So,
But yes, she was. She was. It was an okay. So it was it was a somebody's townhouse, the condo townhouse, and
yes,
it was kind of like a
yes,
few steps down. So I'm calling it a basement
yes.
apartment, but yeah. Uh huh.
Sister, if you're listening,
Yeah.
give us a shout
We
out.
want
Tell us
this.
what's going on.
We want the story.
We want the scoop.
We do. We do. We should get her.
Some neighborhood watch.
We should get her on to talk about it.
Okay, we'll get her on
Yeah.
to talk about
Yeah.
it. She'll be like, "Oh my god."
That's so funny. That was so
Then
long
she'll
ago.
say a whole bunch of nasty stories about me, I'm sure of it.
Oh, that would be a lot of fun. By the
No, I
way,
don't think so.
oh,
Let's pass.
I think it would be hysterical. I think we should bring her on. Do you
Mm.
remember when I was telling you about, and I think it was you that I was saying it, there is the new Canadian, or not new Canadian, but I found a Canadian brand of ice, of like water, like Chili's
Yes,
or,
yes,
okay.
the chili mousse or
This is
whatever you
chili
said,
mousse.
yeah?
This is it.
Okay,
Look how big it is. It is
that's
gi
lovely.
flippin' enormous, and it holds a lot of water and it keeps it really, really cold. And the good thing about this is this bottom part fits in the car cup, like in the cup holder in the car.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
there's another
yes.
brand that I had tried that it had a nice big, like it was
Well,
a big
drink
water
my water.
bottle, but it did
Mhm.
not fit into the car cup holder. And the other ones are too small. And
Yeah,
I like to have a lot of water with me. So I just thought, you know what? Let me show you. Maybe we'll tag them
there's your
because
chili
they are
mousse.
Canadian
Yes,
and
tag
it's
chili
and
mousse.
they have other designs too. You don't have to just do this one. So mm,
It's cute. I Mel has a really huge water bottle too that doesn't fit
yeah,
like
yeah,
anywhere, and it like I have to hold it with two hands.
yeah,
Like it's so
yeah,
big.
yeah. So there you go.
Um, yeah, I'm writing down
Chili
chili
mousse.
mousse.
Yeah. And
Okay.
their prices are affordable too. So, like, if you're used to the Yetis, if you're used to the, you know what I mean? This is going to be
Yeah.
more affordable.
Okay,
Yeah,
good because Yetis are an arm and a
they
leg.
are, and these work just as great.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, do you remember the story I told you about my blinds?
Yes,
Right? And then I just said fuck it and ordered some blinds off Amazon.
yes. And
They're fucking perfect.
are they?
Perfect.
Are they perfect?
Lovely. Love them.
19.99 off of Amazon
Yeah,
versus
no. I
$685 million. That's
$962 versus what I pay on Amazon, I don't know, 220
yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Bananas.
That's
Absolutely
it is
bananas,
bananas,
but yeah.
but they look great.
Yeah,
Good.
they look great.
Okay.
I'll send you a pic
Okay.
for sure.
Good. I'm glad that you're happy with them, and I just cannot believe the price difference. Can't believe it.
Blows my mind.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so the blinds and then I watched on Disney Plus the story about Theranos, the company, and its CEO Elizabeth Holmes.
That has been
And the
out
show is called Dropout. Yeah?
okay, so is it okay, hold on. There was a documentary about her on Netflix. Is
There
this the same
was.
one? This is different.
There was a documentary, like a real
Yeah,
life one. This is more like a
like a series.
dramatized version.
Okay, because that documentary was pretty fucking interesting and
Yes.
shocking, like so shocking.
Yes.
Okay.
The dramatization was also very
Okay,
good.
so it's called what? I gotta mark this down.
Dropout.
Dropout. Okay. Okay.
It's called
And it's
Dropout,
on
yeah,
Netflix, you
and it's
said?
on Disney. No, Disney
Oh, Disney
Plus.
Plus. Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm kind of amazed at what she was able to do and how many people she was able to fool
Yeah.
along the way
Yeah.
out of
Millions.
millions and millions of
I
dollars.
know.
And I can remember early on in my working career,
Yeah.
one of the first lessons I learned in dealing with vendors. Now, these were software vendors at the time, but you get the gist. The rule was believe nothing of what you
Yeah.
hear and only half of what you
Yeah,
see.
that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good rule to
It
have,
is.
right?
It is.
But there's all of these millionaires out there investing millions of dollars without seeing anything.
Mhm.
Even though like when you watch it when she gets Walgreens pharmacy on board,
Mhm.
right? To put the machines and all that. I am like, what the
I
fuck?
know.
It's bananas.
It is.
Anyway, she's in jail still, so whatever.
Yeah, she is, and, like, she was a pretty woman, she was, like, like, it's just not somebody that
Yeah.
you'd suspect. I just it blows my mind too, and she really did raise a lot of money, like, a lot of money. That documentary was phenomenal. I'm gonna have to check out this show. There was another guy now, I'm not this is ringing a bell, so she did it, and there was another guy who also did something similar as well. I guess
The guy that she worked with or a separate?
separate. It was something
Oh,
separate.
okay.
So I guess what it is, CeeLo, I guess like if you've got enough presence, like and you're really
Yeah.
good at that car salesman, pitch.
Yeah.
I guess at the end of the day, you can probably convince anybody of anything. Maybe that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to. you know?
Maybe she should go and work at Blinds to Go, and someone will pay $962 for a 32-inch
She
blind.
may be having to work at Blinds to Go once she gets out of jail because nobody else will hire her, so
She will for sure. Her current net worth at some point, her net
yeah.
worth was in the billions,
Yes,
and her current net worth is 0
0.
dollars.
But can
So
you flip and believe how rich this woman became? Oh my gosh, it's insane. It's insane.
yeah, it's totally insane. Anyways, I thought it was well done. So if you are looking for something to
Yes.
watch, go watch
I
Dropout. Is it Dropout or The Dropout? I don't know. You know what I'm saying though.
There was one show, oh my gosh, I'm so bad with names. It's on
What did I say to you earlier before we started recording?
Adolescence.
Right?
It's called
The sh
Adolescence. Let's see,
On
Adolescence.
Netflix. Yes,
Net
I noticed that on there. I'm like, "Oh, I gotta watch that."
Oh, CeeLo. Dave and I watched it. Dave and I watched it. It was real
Is it good?
yeah, it was good. It was good. And,
Oh,
like, the end, both Dave and
yeah?
I were crying. It's like your
Really?
heart just breaks at the last episode, you're just like, "Oh my god, this
Okay, don't say any
family."
more.
Yeah, I won't,
I
but
don't wanna
it
don't be a
was good.
spoiler.
No, I won't, but it was very good, and you will probably, um, really feel it as well because you have children. Like
That's what I had heard. Somebody was like,
yep,
"Oh my god, the
yep,
boy," or something.
because,
I'm like, "Don't tell me anything."
no, I'm not gonna tell you anything, but it's like, shit can happen, with any kid, like
Yeah. Oh, total.
now, I mean, some things are a little bit more extreme than others, but it's just like, you just I don't know, man. I don't know.
Kids are tough, man.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that this
Yeah,
weekend
you
because it's
should.
supposed to be like ice storm, raining, snowing.
Can you fucking believe it? It's like we've had such beautiful weather, and now all of a sudden, a lot
Mhm.
of areas
I
in
don't know about
Ontario
beautiful.
well,
It's definitely been better. It's
yes.
been warmer,
Yeah,
it's not as cold. I
yeah.
get you. I don't beautiful could be a bit of a stretch.
Okay, so let's say
But when I
it's not been winter, anymore,
correct,
and
which is good.
yeah, now most of Ontario is
But
under some warning for an ice storm.
I know, and I is it started? Oh. Um, I ran into my neighbors walking the dog, and they're like, "You ready for the ice storm this week?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It'll rain."
yeah,
Like, I looked at the temperatures, and it's supposed to be positive the highs are
yeah,
6, 4, whatever.
yeah,
It's not gonna be freezing rain. It's just gonna be rain.
yeah,
It's not gonna be an ice storm,
yeah.
right?
Well, you know what? I don't know how it's gonna hit us in the Greater Toronto area. Um,
I saw something like 24 to
yeah.
34 centimeters of snow or something.
So I didn't see the snow, but the alerts that I'm getting is for ice, 50, up to 15 millimeters worth of.
Balls.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well. Now I have a Netflix show to
I
watch.
know. Well, I think I'd rather have snow than ice because anytime there's an ice storm, so forget about just freezing rain. Freezing rain, sure,
Yeah.
everything is slippery. You got to be super careful, yada, yada. But when it's an ice
Yes.
storm, it's like everything gets coated in ice, tree branches fall, damage is happening everywhere, Like it's almost like an apocalypse hits and you
Yes.
lose power for sure, you know?
It can get bad.
Which leads me to a question.
Yes.
Two of my neighbors have recently purchased generators. Yeah, for their homes. And one
Okay.
time when the power had gone out and I heard the generator kick in of my neighbor's generator, and I could see through my window that their lights were on and they were watching TV. It was like nothing, and we're in complete darkness. I was like, oh, I think I want one, but they're expensive. Do you think it's worth it?
Like, how expensive?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but the ones that I looked at, like the ones that I had just Googled, around the $8,000 range, some of them are 10,000.
You could go on a trip for that.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, what are your, you can go on a trip for that. That's spoken by
I'm like,
a
I
true
try to
mom.
think of like What would the trade-off be? Like, that's half a bathroom renovation, you know what I'm
I
saying?
totally understand. That's why I'm like,
Um,
do you think these are worth having or not?
in your whole life, or even just since you've owned your home, what is the longest time span that you've lost your power?
Oh, during the ice storm of what year was that? No,
1864.
no,
I don't know. Sound like
we
an
weren't
old
even
lady.
born. There was a big ice storm, um, 2012, 2013, something like that. I can't remember when it
Okay.
was. Anyways, we had a really bad ice storm, and it we had no power for a week. It was a whole week. And it was during Christmas. And so we weren't able to make Christmas dinner. We were actually going my parents' house. So my dad was alive at the time. They had power because the grid that they're on is the same grid that one of the close hospitals is on. So they got their power turned on relatively quickly within a couple of days. So we were all taking turns going down to their place to shower and eat and even coffee. At the time, we didn't have a gas barbecue. We only had a propane barbecue, and so we were using our propane barbecue to make coffee in the morning, and cook simple things. Yeah,
Like you were camping.
yeah. But that was over a week, CeeLo, and I mean that was an anomaly. That was not a you know common thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I would say on the what, twice a year that we lose power, it's maybe an hour. You know what I mean? And so then you're like, okay, it's like an insurance policy though. You may not use it for 5 years, and then that Christmas is going to come along and you've got lost it for a whole week. So you kind of never know. Could be worth it.
Well,
But I wouldn't like in the
yeah.
city with so many customers affected. Like they seem to be able to fix it relatively quickly. I'm not gonna,
Hmm.
you know, get a $8,000 generator so I can turn my TV on in the 2 hours that I've not had power. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do. I totally understand. I do. What worries me, of course, because this is how my mind works. It's like what worries me is, I don't know, this whole world seems to be so unstable these days, and it seems to be just,
True.
and the weather is getting worse as well, when,
Yeah.
there's like fires, there's windstorms, like, and it's constant.
Well,
And part of me is kind of like, is this just going to continue to get worse? And if it is, should I prepare?
yeah, it is an insurance thing. You could, you should. If you do, then I'll have somewhere to go to when I lose power.
That is true. That is true, but then I
Right?
will be very resentful of you because you'll have taken that beautiful $10,000 trip while I'm sitting in my home
I
sheltering
know, but
you.
then I can plug in my phone and show you all the beautiful pictures because you've got power.
That's right. I don't know if I'm liking this deal or not. Well, something for me to consider. Not sure.
Too funny. Yeah, something to consider for sure. I agree with you that it's something to think about in terms of insurance, and you never know what could happen and when or how long you'd be out of it for. So maybe it is worth it. And you have
Mm.
a garage and stuff. You could put it in there, no?
No,
It doesn't have to be inside somewhere. It's outside.
outside. It's outside. No, it's not
Mm.
inside. I think it's run by gas, so they hook it up to your gas line because
Oh.
that way, when your power shuts off, this thing kicks in automatically because you don't need the
Oh,
yeah, you don't need power for the gas. So,
fancy.
yeah, I know.
What do you call those people that prepare for like the absolute worst case scenario?
Oh, um, the ones
Why
that
can't I think of
the
it?
ones that have those bunkers and they have like,
Yeah, like the preppers, the doomsday
oh, is that
preppers.
what? No, I'm not a
No?
doomsday prepper. However, oh my God, on that note, did
Yeah.
you hear that the EU has recently put out a statement that says we are advising every citizen in the EU to have 72 hours worth of food and
Yes,
water stored
I
in
did see
case
that.
of an outbreak of something or an attack. And I saw that and I just went, oh my fuck, what the shit? What the shit? And then Dave,
Right?
I'm saying what the shit, and Dave is like, do not go crazy. You're not going to Costco. You're not getting, so like, we are fine. So I was just like, oh my God. He's not letting me
That's
geek
funny.
out.
I do gotta go to Costco this weekend.
Well, 72 hours worth of stuff.
I feel like there's enough stuff in this house that I could live for
Me too.
72 hours.
Mhm.
I think the water sitch would be the worst of it.
But you
Like, I
can
don't think I
boil
have
it,
a lot of
right? Like, you can
water.
yeah, you can boil the water if you have to.
Boil it from where? Where would I
Oh,
get
because
it
the water
from?
was not coming through. Got it.
Yeah.
No, water would still
You
flow.
know what I'm saying? Why? Like, what if the water plant blows up?
Oh, got it, got it.
You
Okay,
know what I'm saying? And then water's not coming to your house anymore. I
got
could
it.
walk down to the lake and just get buckets.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
I
Um,
on that
I don't
note,
know, but I did see that 72 hours. Yeah, on
yeah,
that note.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up because I saw something cute on Instagram that made me laugh.
What?
And it made me smile.
Okay.
And then I laughed. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, tell me.
It said, marry someone who says things like, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. I'm so lucky to be with you.
Aw.
You can do it, babe. You can do it. Although don't call me babe, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And the last one is, I don't know where this extra dog came from, but he fits in real great with the other dogs.
That's awesome.
I started reading
That's
it and I'm like,
awesome.
this is kind of like a self-help thing. Like,
Yeah,
that's right, girl. You deserve someone who's going to talk to you like this.
yeah,
And then I got to the dog one and I just busted a gut laughing.
that's really cute.
If I find
That's
it, I'll
adorable.
put it on the
Yeah,
stories.
do
I'll
it.
put it on the stories,
Do
you
it.
know?
Do it. That's so cute. That's adorable. We need some cuteness for sure.
Good times,
All
baby.
right, CeeLo, babe, get your doomsday
Oh,
prepper shopping list.
yeah. Go buy your generator, Ice Storm. Now watch us lose fucking power this weekend.
That's not, no, stop it. All right, babe.
No.
Nice talking to you, babe.
Oh, don't say that.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for taking a seat at the table today. We love our dinner guests.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow The Dinner Agenda on the podcast platform you use so that you don't miss any new episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Dinner Agenda.
We look forward to hearing your comments, questions, and even ideas you may have on future episodes.
Thanks for taking this journey with us.